Hello everybody, in this video we'll learn how to use our first visual effects. Already a very cool animation here on the screen. Now roll the intro and see you on the tutorial. Let's get started by creating a composition, and here I will call visual effects, and everything else seems pretty good. I'll set this to 30 frames per second and duration of 1 minute, and set OK. Here I'll create a text layer. I click on the text and I will write CC ball action. Okay. I will make bigger. I'll send the action to the second line and position on the way I would like. So let's say 300 is a good size, and then space of 300. Okay. Now we go to align and we open our effects and presets. And here you can type CC ball and there is CC ball action. To apply this, I can either drag and drop directly to the text or down here or right there. Okay. Now you can see that this happened. I can go in character. I will zoom in a little bit and make this full res. So you can see that the stroke is messing up. Let's turn off the stroke by clicking on the stroke second color here and turning off. Now go back to the color and I'll set to a nice color here. Something like that and a bit brighter. Okay. Now we have a bunch of settings and I would still like to make this slightly bigger. So let's go to character and here I'll set to 400. Okay, that's better. And the space here 400 as well. Now we can go and align it again. Great. Now we don't have any keyframes yet and we have a lot of settings. So what happened when I drag this into the text layer, it opened this panel, and before we were in project, and now we have an extra panel. If I click away from the text, I still can access that, but if I have another layer, for example, so I create a new solid and say OK, now I cannot access this menu, but once I click back to here, I can access. And I can turn on and off the effect by clicking on this FX symbol. Okay, and now we have a bunch of settings. So we can actually animate everything that has the stopwatch here, and everything has. Sometimes will not go well together, but in this case everything can be played together. It will turn out fine. So let's go and try these settings. I can move this So once again, I click on the number and I can drag left or right, okay, and it will change this. Let's say I want to return to what it was. I can right click and then I can click reset, and I can also move and just click on it and press 0. It will reset to the default number that was. In this case is 1,000 here, 100, sorry. And then if I press 0, it's just gonna mess it up. So it's better to change here and then right click and reset. Okay. Now let's play with each one to see what it does. On the rotation here, you can see that it becomes 3D, which is pretty cool. And you can change the axis to rotate in a different way. Okay. Let me return this by pressing Ctrl Z. Okay. Now we can also turn this to change this number or how many rotations you like, and then twist would be something like that. Got it? Which is pretty cool as well. We can use all this to animate. And grid spacing is basically the amount of balls that you get. Here has about enough. So number 3 is good. Before we were at set to 5. I would like to keep at 3. Just a little bit more resolution. And the ball size, you see, I like something like that. Look like a LED screen. I like this. So you can see in one simple effect from the many effects that it has, you can do so much. And it's really cool to explore this panel right here, effects and presets. Some of them will not work on text, and some of them will work on videos. You need to test it out, but I'll be guiding you on so many of this. And now we have instability, which is not changing yet. Okay, so okay, I like this for now, and I will start to animate. Let's press on scatter. Okay, and now I cannot see the keyframe, but if I press the key U, I can open here the keyframe, and the first keyframe has been made when I click on the stopwatch. And now I can move the timeline here. So this is called timeline indicator. Let's move about 3 seconds. So I can come here and actually type 3 seconds. And now set this to 1,000. Now you can see that it's reverse. And then I would like this to be there and switch the keyframes. I select both, right click, keyframe assistant, and time reverse keyframes. Now it starts like this until it becomes the wording. Okay, so let's say I would like to give some opacity, so I press T and then I press the stopwatch and bring a little bit forward because that's 100%. And now I make 0, automatically make another keyframe. And now I press U to expand the keyframes panel. Now if I drag, it starts 100% nothing on the screen. and then slowly start to show up just like stars and become our writing. Another very good effect that I like to use is fill. I can drag this fill and bring down here. Now it will color the whole composition, or I mean the layer that you are in. And I will set this color to about the same what it was. Okay. And now I can actually click on the stopwatch here, color. So now we have actually two effects is going on here. See that? I am under fill, and if I press U on the layer here again, one more time, I can see the color has been created. And the color is now set to yellow. I can either change from here or from here. Now let's say I want to start with green, and this green turn into yellow, and then it turns to another color, for example pink. So you can see this is really powerful, and that's the preview, and then the color switching right there. Now you can play even more. Let's say you come back to the effect above it, CC ball action, and let's say twist or rotation. Let's play with twist angle. I will hold shift here to snap on the keyframes, and about here so I know what's happening. I will click in twist angle, stopwatch, and now I can press U again and U again, so I review the twist angle keyframe, and now I can bring that, just leave it here, and I can move forward a little bit so I can see what's gonna happen here. And now let's twist angle, something like that, and I can move these keyframes. So let's say I hold shift and snap about there, and then I click on this, hold shift and snap right here. So now it does something like that. And if you move this two again, this is what is going to happen. It's still loading, and that's a really awesome effect, isn't it? That was the video for now. I will see you on the next video. Thank you for watching.